Well, alright guys, how are you all doing tonight? This is Luke back here with yet another album review. I believe this is number 61, album review number 61. It is Sunday, May 23rd, 2021. I hope you guys are all having a good Sunday evening. Hopefully you are having a good one, and hopefully you are just having a good time and are safe throughout all of this. However, tonight we are going to be reviewing a band that I would like to say has been fairly successful in the underground, but I really don't hear a lot of people talk about them that often for some reason. But if you read the title of the video, you would know I'm talking about none other than Dystopia with the album Human Equals Garbage. Now I just want to say that I'm very excited to be doing this review for you tonight, as this is a very interesting band. But it's not quite sludge metal, but I would definitely say that it has a shit ton of sludge metal influence in the music. This band leans more towards the crust punk side of things, and even though I'm not a big fan of crust punk, this band definitely implements and does these elements in the right way, and his vocals can even get to the point to where they're almost death metal-y at times. Anyways, guys, let's get into the biography and history of this band, as I always do. Now, Dystopia was an American crust punk band that formed in Oakland, California in 1991. Now, they were popular in both the heavy metal and crust punk scenes at the time, and due in a large to the band's bleak, misanthropic imagery, Dystopia's lyrics often dealt with human emotions and social or political issues such as environmentalism, racial equality, substance abuse, and animal rights even, which is an interesting thing, because I don't personally support veganism, but their music's filled with it. I do respect that, because I don't really have too much of a big problem with that. Their music has utilized the slow, heavy sound of sludge metal, whilst including more upbeat elements drawn the more crust punk, grindcore, and noise rock. Human Equals Garbage is the debut for this band, and it was released originally as a 12-inch EP, which is what we're going to be going over tonight. And it was on Life is Abuse, Common Cause, and Misanthropic Records. And the record was later reissued on CD format, containing an extra set of bonus tracks pulled from various split releases, and it was a 2-disc. Now, the 5 tracks from the original EP, which is the one we're going to be reviewing tonight, were recorded throughout February 1994. The first session started at a mere 3 hours after bassist Todd Kessling was bailed out of jail. According to Kessling, he was arrested for trying to purchase an item with counterfeit money. He was, however, unaware of the currency's dubious status at the time of arrest, according to the liner notes of the CD edition of the record. All of the artwork was composed of various pictures and magazines that the band found in trash cans. The CD edition of the album has been released on vinyl formats in 2014. The album was pressed on double vinyl through Tank Crimes. Now, something else I felt worth mentioning is the lineup of this album. The lineup of this album consists of Todd Kessling's on bass and vocals, Dan Samus on drums, vocals, and lyrics, Matt Parlio on guitars, vocals, and lyrics. And now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get in to this review. Now, I'm having trouble coming up with the words to describe how amazing and unique this EP is. It would be inaccurate to compare this to another band or album because nothing else sounds quite like it. Dystopia plays their own unique style, with the most prominent influence being sludge, crust punk, and grindcore. This is a misanthropic record if I've ever heard one. I can hear this hatred for humanity in every gut-wrenching scream. This album is dirty, heavy, aggressive, and above all, it is one of the most original pieces of music I've ever heard. None of the 5 songs are the same. They are all genius in their own special way. This album starts off with Stress Builds Character. This one is probably my favorite song on the EP. If you're feeling down and want a song you can relate to, this is it. It starts off with a haunting bass line and a rant about the pressures that modern life imposes on people. When the rant subsides, we're treated to one of the most unique instrumental sections ever fucking made. This bass is what makes this section so special. It overpowers everything else with its captivating tone, and the rest of the track features heavy, slow riffs and tortured vocals. The next song, Hands That Mold, perfectly show the contrast between the two vocalists. One produces an extremely gruff, deep growl. The other vocalist still employs harsh vocals, but at a much higher pitch. Both of them are extremely hard to forget. This song shows off Dystopia's talents for writing lyrics. The lyrics paint a portrait of human beings eventually destroying the planet that give them birth. With this track, the originality of the drums become evident. I can't help but being intrigued by the interesting cymbal patterns. The epic riff at the chorus is almost noteworthy, and it almost reminds me of Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. But as I said, I do still prefer Stress Build's character just a little much, and I'm going to be playing that for you. So we will be right back, guys. Let's check out Stress Build's character by Dystopia right here on the channel. And we are back, guys. Man, what an amazing, amazing sludge slash crust band and album. Next up, we got the track Sanctity, and it has to be one of the most disturbing songs I've ever heard. The samples are played over and over the most original bass lines I've ever heard. The samples are extremely morbid. They are the stories of different people's suicides after the voice says, "I can no longer endure the pain." We've often talked about when a person's time is up. Mine is now. Some truly aggressive metal kicks in. The pain-filled screams on this track are truly twisted and fucked up. The lyrics follow the theme of the samples with lines such as, "God, where are you now?" Now, the track Ignorance of Pride is a song protesting gang violence and class discrimination. Their grindcore influences that are very prominent become evident on this track. Don't think it is a fully grindcore spaz fest, though. The short, furious blasts with furious wails are followed by slow, sludgy guitars and deep, menacing growls. Then next we got the track Love Hate, and it's a worthy competitor of Sanctity in my opinion for the most disturbing sound ever recorded. An ironic sampling of Hopeless Devoted to You is followed by the dissonant screeches of feedback. The samples feature the voice of misogynists and murderers of women. One considerably fucked up sample is from a man who murdered his significant other. It quotes, "I cut off her head and I humiliated her corpse, but I never hit her. I killed her, but I never hit her." The rest of the samples are equally messed up. Dystopia have often been accused of misogyn for this song, but they have explained that this song is a protest against violence towards women. Personally, I consider this EP to be perfect. I do not see a flaw in this. To me, perfection doesn't mean being the most overly technical, advanced, or the best produced piece of music, but it means making the most enjoyable and interesting songs that create a strong emotional connection. This album has an extremely dirty production quality, as metal should, and many of the riffs are simple. But this doesn't matter. The production fits the style of music and the riffs are interesting and enjoyable. The bass is a big part of what makes this album so perfect. It is rare that you see a band that use bass this heavily, especially in metal. Instead of the bass plodding along and differently copying the guitar, Dystopia uses the bass to cave out a unique atmosphere. Dystopia certainly isn't for everyone, but they are a true gem to people who can relate to them and like them. And now that we're at the end of this review, close to the end of it, I have to admit, I was not sure if I would like this album. But when I heard this, I realized that this is indeed a true misanthropic fucking masterpiece of music. And I have to give this one a solid 10 out of 10. Amazing fucking record, and I would highly recommend you to check it out. And that, guys, is going to be just about it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, leave a fucking like on this video. If you want me to go over anything or cover anything on the channel, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to have a look at it. I'm glad to be back and making reviews for you guys once again, as I love doing these videos, and there will be many, many, many more to come, especially now that I'm out for summer. And if you would like to join me or Chaos's Discord, the links for those will also be down in the description below as well. Me and Chaos are going to be trying to work on a podcast and try to get it out for you sometime this coming weekend. So if it's not out by the time you're seeing this, it will be out soon enough. And anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed and have yourselves a fucking good one, guys. Cheers.